died when a wall collapsed on her, has said it was the most horrific experience of her life. George Collier was recently jailed for 2 years for the manslaughter of Meg Burgess in 2008. Her parents say they want to improve standards in the construction industry to prevent more lives being put at risk.
The Burgesses seem to be a complete and happy family, but there's an important piece missing. Meg Burgess was returning from a trip to the shops near her home in Meliden near Prestatyn in June 2008 when a 5-foot-high breeze block wall fell on her. She died almost instantly. Her mother Lindsay and little brother Wilson had just reached the end when it collapsed.
I turned and kind of beckoned her to come, watched how beautiful she was. I was always doing that. Everyone that knew me knew how mesmerised I was by her, as was everybody else. And it just all fell in one go. It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen. In my dreams at night, I can feel the wall pass by my face. It literally stopped by my feet. And I can remember my own hair blowing when the wall came past my face.
10 days ago, George Collier, the man on the right, was jailed for 2 years for manslaughter. He was responsible for the wall and had laid tons of excavated soil behind it, causing it to collapse. Mr. and Mrs. Burgess want all builders to face tougher regulations.
The problem is semi-skilled workers who take on jobs which they feel they may or may not be competent at, and they fail to take the appropriate advice. And it's exactly those sort of scenarios that we need to protect the public from.
It's time that we require builders to be registered and licensed so that we know exactly what their competence levels are.
The trade association, the Federation of Master Builders, says it fully supports steps to raise standards and will be happy to discuss possibilities for licensing builders. Meanwhile, the Burgess family are campaigning for changes at the same time as trying to rebuild their own lives.
You're watching Wales Today.